is true. I mean, it's so powerful. I mean, it's singing, essentially. It's just singing. But you bring all those voices together, and it's also the stories behind the voices and what brought that choir together that is really powerful.
For me, that's what fascinates me about singing. It's why do we sing, and what is it about you that makes you want to sing that song, and what does it mean when you do it? And for this series, I've travelled all around the country and met all sorts of people in all sorts of different circumstances. You know, some happy, some unhappy. They're all singing for their own reasons, and it comes out in the instrument. It comes out in the way they hold themselves, and that to me is endlessly fascinating. I mean, yes, here I am doing another programme with choirs in it, but the nuance of why people sing and seeing people strive to do it, I find endlessly fascinating.
Well, it looks like, looking at the brief, because it's on the telly tonight at 9 on BBC Two, that you've broadened it out a little bit. It's all sorts of different choirs and different music.
I'm painfully aware that we're going head-to-head, aren't we, tonight? It's right, it'll be on the iPlayer as well.
But we've got
Pride of Britain.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
But yes, I broadened it out. Last year, I did a series just about a cappella, which is quite niche, so that's singing without instruments. So we got some amazing performances, but there are so many other kinds of singing other than a cappella. There's gospel choirs in this series, we've got folk choirs, we've got school choirs, kids, all sorts of different things.
And ultimately, you've got to whittle it down to 4.
That's right. And then they go head-to-head in a final, and then one of them is declared Britain's best amateur choir. You've got to polish it. You've got
even like people that are completely tone deaf.
I mean, I think a lot of people claim to be tone deaf, but they're,
Well, Phil always says I'm completely.
Oh, really?
You can't. When I'm sitting here, you can't see my face.
Challenge.
But are you asking this question for you?
Are you actually tone deaf?
Because I feel like I've got a voice in there too.
You do? I mean, there's a bit of gravel. There's a bit of grit in the
gravelly.
system, isn't there? Yeah.
There is a bit of grit in the system. I like that.
Yeah. Can you do something with the grit in her system?
I think that, but that's what makes her uniquely her. Why would we want to do that? I'd get letters if I fixed that.
But can you make it musical?
Not in the next 3 minutes. I don't know. But if you got in a choir and you sang on with other people, you'd have that great sense of coming together with people, and you'd love it.
Still want to step forward for a solo though at some point.
That's fine. Yeah. Go for it. I say.
Can't help myself.
Yeah. So start off in a group.
Yes.
Yeah.
Work out.
Step forward and really go for it.
And have somewhere to go back to.
Yeah.
Wait to be invited.
What's your proudest moment?
Ooh, I mean, I think the Invictus this year, as you saw a bit there in the clip you showed, I mean, that was so moving, and to be there in front of Michelle Obama and Prince Harry, that was amazing. Military wives, I think when you're under huge pressure, I mean, I can only imagine what it's like to be one of these people who are doing the publicity rounds all over the world and having to perform night after night after night. And it was fine when you did it in the studio, with the luxury of time, but once you get out there, doing gigs night after night, that can be very damaging, and lots of people run into real problems. So, I don't know what the answer is really. You've just got to take care of your instrument because you only get one.
And if you take care of your instrument, can it change the sound of your voice? I mean, if she was to take that out, that sort of the way she breathes, or change
that's it. I mean, that's the wonderful thing about that amazing first album of hers, or second album of hers, is that it has that rawness, and that's why we all love it. It's honest and searing and human, which is what fascinates me. And any music is like there's a sort of realness there, but that's very hard to replicate live, and I think that's where singers, not just Adele, anyone will run into trouble.
So you can watch a performance and think, oh my God, that's
on the edge. Yeah, I think when you hear when you feel someone forcing and pushing, and you get that tightness and that grip. It's not dangerous in the life sense, but it's dangerous in the vocal sense.
Is your house absolutely filled with music?
I mean, yeah. I've got 2 ukuleles, a banjo, a bass guitar, a piano. The list goes on. There's a lot of my kids sing, I sing. It's constant.
It would have been because we did ask you in the break. Are they musical? And you've got very musical children, which is great. It must have been that would be a huge disappointment.
What a nervous moment. As they start to clap in time, you go yes, yes, go on, son.
And you've got coming out of Christmas. You've got a Christmas album as well, which I know lots of people will be very excited about. There's a song on there that you wrote yourself when you were a child.
When I was 15, that's right. I went back to the old tapes and found this carol that I wrote when I was at school with my school music teacher, and we performed in the school carol concert, dusted it off, and I mean, I'm pleased with it. It sounds really beautiful. It's got a sort of filmic Harry Potter quality to it.
Wow.
Yeah, and the album is about it's a great British Christmas. So it's a real community sound of British Christmas. I've been around recording gospel choirs and handbell ringers and school choirs and putting them together with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra and my own professional choir.
You travel a lot. Do you like travelling?
No. No, I think I am a lazy person stuck in a very busy person's body.
Yeah.
And but I love my work. I mean, what a treat. I get to think about music from morning till dusk. I mean, I could not ever have imagined a more perfect job for me. I get to talk about it, I get to do it, you know, and having this, being able to work on television and show people what, you know, and I think this series does a good job of that, of showing the joy and the companionship you can get from a choir.
Do you know, I like the sound of your Christmas album, by the way. Yeah. Because we always, we play Christmas music all over the house as early as we possibly can. When is it out?
2nd of December. I will send you a copy.
I'll buy one, don't you worry.
Right.
Thank you.
In the meantime, the show's on tonight, BBC 2 at 9 p.m. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
If you enjoyed that, there's more of the same right here. And make sure you subscribe so that you never miss the best moments from this morning.